We work with already established or emerging conservationists, and we support them and their work. And then we bring those conservationists into the classroom to inspire the children to want to be part of this conversation about conservation. And so we've spent the last 2 days talking to over 700 students. And what we've done is we've brought 2 Conservation Nation fellows, which is Amir and Taylor, and we've brought them into these classrooms, and we have seen firsthand the children becoming inspired.
We're on a listening tour, so I've been part of the Conservation Nation Academy, and I've had the opportunity to share the work that we're doing on bioacoustics, which is the art of listening to wildlife.
So I never thought about it like that. I just thought a howl was a howl.
How the sounds are interpreted, and like wolves might have different voices. This might be like, this howl might mean this or that. It was so interesting.
You know, I grew up here in the DC area, so it's been really nice to be home and to get to meet these students and to be in these schools, you know, full of students who are black and brown or from underrepresented groups.
Taylor is an inspiration to our students. I think one big thing about Taylor that is very inspiring to our students is that she's a woman.
I think it's important to, without necessarily always naming it exactly, give them just opportunities for it to feel normal to them that someone would fly across the country to talk to them, because they are important.
We step on leaves and we don't think anything of it. What's under the leaves are ants, colonies.
Even if it's the ants on the ground. I loved that one in particular, you know, that student who said he had never thought about the ants before. And now, after being a Conservation Nation Academy student, he's thinking about the ants. He's thinking about everything around him, and I thought that was great.
But you are not alone. Somewhere beyond the ridge, a sound cuts through the water.
My students have been watching Taylor do these videos for the last few months, and they're like, oh my gosh, she's here? You know, it's like, oh my gosh, that's a real person. They kind of think she's like a celebrity, which is fine, you know? But I think having her in person makes her accessible. It makes it realize like, oh, that's a job. That's just something that someone is doing.
But they're fearful. How do you put like the collar on them? A third of them have a collar.
It's emotional for me because growing up in an area where there was no diversity, to be able to come here and see an entire school where there truly is not someone who is not a person of color. I didn't have that, and so it just makes me emotional. But yeah, it's exciting to be able to share my work with them, for them to recognize me.
Like, I have dreams when I grow up of doing something like Taylor, and I would love to have the opportunity anytime, because I think I'm really interested in this subject, and I think this is where I want to go with my life.
We need people to care about things moving forward, and so that's one of the reasons that I am so heavily involved in education, is because I want to share the love that I have for wildlife with other people so they can understand why it matters.
Yeah, I love seeing the light of wonder in a child's eyes, the excitement around something new or novel or meaningful.
I want people to take away the idea that they too can become involved in conservation in one way or another. I want them to take away that it's fun. I want them to take away that it's meaningful. And I want them to know that Conservation Nation is here to help them.
1, 2, 3.